May it be a good Erev Shabbos, a beautiful Friday that we're turning into Erev Shabbos, and a holy and a peaceful and a successful Shabbos for us all. A big thank you to our Turn Friday into Erev Shabbos sponsors, our dear friends Mendy and Sipora Fishman. The Schutz for Chai Rivka Bas Sipora Friedel in memory of Rabbi Jonathan Sachs, Rabbi Yaakov Tzvi ben David Aryeh. The Ikar Lo Lefached Klal, as Klal Yisrael are back. Ceasefire is over. We're back in a war. Back, our boys and young ladies on the front line, fighting for the Jewish people's lives. Ha'ikar lo lefached klal. Shabbos milizok. Shabbos l'makor bracha. We daven that Shabbos, which is the source of all bracha. Shabbos should bring strength. Shabbos should bring success. Shabbos should bring victory. Shabbos should bring peace. Shabbos should bring the hostages home. Shabbos should bring only good things. So I want to share with you this Erev Shabbos, an insight from Rav Avram Shor. It's not from this week, but it's a beautiful insight. It's relevant to each and every week. He says the Jewish people, all of us, live in a world that is filled with lies and distortions. It's an upside-down world. It's a world that is trying to get us to be distracted and distorted and delusional at times. And the world is not the world of truth. One of the ways it does it is to make us believe that the external, the superficial, the beauty, that's what matters. And the panemius, the essence, the essential, the inner, that's not true. The kasha lios davak be'emes lamito, and it's difficult to cling to and stick to the truth, to see the world for what it really is, to understand the essence, to live at the highest level is a challenge. It's not easy. The world is seducing us. The world of marketing is distracting us. The world is confusing us. And as we are going through this crisis in Israel, deeply disappointed in the world and a world of media, social media, online, offline, that so misrepresents and misunderstands the truth. Hashem did an incredible chesed. God gave us a great gift, Shabbos Shema, and the great gift He gave us is called Shabbos. The essence of Shabbos is after 6 days that are complicated and confusing, after 6 days that the world, naturally, the physical world is confusing and complicating, and the people of the world who are distorting the truth are confusing and complicating. But every week we come back to Shabbos. Shabbos is our anchor. Shabbos is our compass. Shabbos roots us, and Shabbos testifies to the uniqueness of Hashem, that there is a God, omnipotent, infinite being, the creator of the universe, that He created it all. Shabbos is Zeichel Ma'aseh Bereshis and Zeichel Yetzias Mitzrayim. Shabbos commemorates the Exodus from Egypt, and Shabbos commemorates the creation itself. And we remember that there is a creator and that He continues to be involved in our lives, in the world, that nothing is random or chance, but it's all orchestrated from above. Shabbos is that weekly boost of emunah, bitachon, and dvekas. Shabbos is that weekly recharge of faith, that it all comes from Him. And Shabbos, it doesn't happen automatically, and it doesn't happen on its own, and it doesn't happen if you're a passive spectator to it. Person has to actively engage on Shabbos. Person has to seek out Hashem. Person has to testify to Hashem's existence. Person has to feel the presence of Hashem. Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad. Below Shabbos Beis Amiras Kiddush. Listen to this insight. Friday night we say Kiddush. We say Vayichulu Hashemayim Va'aretz V'chol Tzva'am. We read the section of Genesis of Bereshis that describes when God first created the world. Omrim Osoma Umad. And whatever your minhag is for the second part of Kiddush, whether you stand or sit, but universally all of us stand for the first part of Kiddush, for Vayichulu. Why? Hatamhu Vayichulu Hu Hagadas Eidos. The answer is this paragraph, these few sentences that we introduce Kiddush with, that we describe that God created heaven and earth. They are testimony. We are witnesses, and we are testifying that this world didn't come into being by chance, but this world is part of the design of the creator, of the designer. The Shulchan Aruch tells us, Magen Avram and Taz tell us that we stand because we're giving testimony. We stand up, and before we sanctify the day with Kiddush, we say, even after a week that we thought we were in control, or we thought others were in control, even in a week in which it was confusing who was in control and why things happened, we come back to Shabbos and we have clarity. Shabbos, we offer testimony. Shabbos, we connect it all back to Hashem. And we do so while standing. Says the Sfas Emes, the Heligas Sfas Emes, if it's true that Vayichulu is giving testimony to Hashem, that's why some have in Shul, they don't. We say Vayichulu in Shul as well. After the Amidah on Friday night, in Marav, we say Vayichulu. And some won't say it alone. if you were still, let's say, davening Shmona Esrei while the community, the tzibur, said Vayechulu, you find someone else to say it with them. Why? Because it's Haggadah's Edus. You're giving testimony. Testimony requires two witnesses. You can't do it alone. You have to do it with someone else. Chazon Ish disagreed. He said it only is like testimony. It's not actual testimony. We know that because the Beis Din testimony is not offered at night. And here we are at night, Friday night, the night of Shabbos, testifying about Hashem. So it's not literal testimony bound by the laws of testimony, but it is a figurative, metaphorical testimony. And according to many, though, it is literal. We're testifying that God is the creator of heaven and earth. We are testifying. Shabbos renews, reinvigorates. Shabbos, we re-energize our understanding, our mindfulness, our comprehension, our representation, our advocacy that the Hashem is in control and charge of this world, that He is the one who puts it all together. So that testimony has to be done while standing. And that testimony in shul is done with at least another. And says the Sfas Emes, but there's another law that when it comes to testimony, a person has to be qualified to be a witness. A person who's disqualified, someone who's a gambler, somebody who's stolen, somebody who violates Torah, somebody who doesn't act with honesty and integrity is not qualified to be a witness. A Jewish court, a rabbinical court, a Beis Din will not accept the testimony of such a person. So if we are all testifying, we have to be eligible to testify. If Friday when a witness testifies, they can't give some wishy-washy testimony. I think, maybe, perhaps, it might be. When you give testimony, you have to say it with confidence. You have to say it with passion, conviction. The witness has to testify with certainty. So too as witnesses, we can't, maybe there's a God, maybe He created the world, maybe He runs it, maybe He's in charge. No, there has to be conviction and clarity and confidence. There's a Hashem, He created the world and He runs it. I believe it, I know it, I live it, I feel it, and I'm here to testify about it. But am I a legitimate witness? Am I qualified to be a witness? So here we have a new idea about turn Friday into Erev Shabbos. Says Rav Mishor, quoting the Sfas Emes, that how do you turn your Friday into Erev Shabbos? Spend Friday becoming a kosher witness. If Friday night you have to give edus, you give testimony that Hashem created the heaven and earth, Friday, you turn Friday into Erev Shabbos by becoming a kosher witness. Becoming a kosher witness, checking ourselves. Do we have honesty? Do we have integrity? Do we live with faith? Do we do Torah and mitzvos? Who are we and how do we live? Are we qualified? Are we a kosher witness? Are we a kosher witness? That's how we turn Friday into Erev Shabbos. And we give that, then we give that testimony with conviction. So this is not just a beautiful idea, a nice thought. This is halacha. We stand for the beginning of Kiddush because we're giving testimony. Some find a second person to say Vayechulu in shul. Why? Because two witnesses have to give testimony. And we, part of Friday and turning Friday into Erev Shabbos, is looking in the mirror and evaluating, are we legitimate? Are we qualified witnesses? Can we in fact give a testimony that will be heard, that will enter into the court record? Is our testimony valid? Is our testimony compelling? That's how we turn Friday into Erev Shabbos, by making sure that we have compelling testimony. Mirz Hashem, this Shabbos, may we indeed see the hand of Hashem continue to protect our people and bring our hostages home and bring a sweeping victory. May we testify to Hashem's greatness, that the miracles, just like Zeichel Yetzias Mitzrayim, just like He took us out of Mitzrayim, He'll take us out of this and every other predicament as well. Have a restful and a peaceful Shabbos. Shabbos should be a place that is Makor Bracha. V'ha'ikar lo lefached klal. The main thing is, when you testify to Hashem's existence, when you know He's the Creator, there is nothing to fear at all. Nothing to fear at all. Lo lefached klal.